Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a very non-bingo rack. The Q is the real problem tile. There's no way I can play it, and I can't score very much and retain it. I think the best I can do is lewd for 16, keeping QE. I'm going to change. That provides too many floaters for opponent and is borderline in any event. And I'll keep Del. Okay, I think Pondlet is good. I may be imagining it. But if it's good, then I have a bingo on my rack. I don't think there will be many 8s with this rack. And if opponent changes, then I can get the P doubled, so there's little to think about. So what 8s might be available? Well, opponent's played. Has he blocked Pondlet? Par is good, but Ol isn't. And it doesn't play anywhere else. So yes, he has blocked it. Let me consider the floaters. F, not seeing anything. How about the A? That looks possible. I would have the land suffix. No, not seeing anything there. How about the T? Doesn't look useful. A, already considered. An L. No. Okay, so that hasn't worked out. How to sort the rack out? I could play Ped. Doesn't score very much and the rack leave is fairly uninspiring. I'd rather hang on to the E than the O. So, what about Polled? Decent score, not providing any floaters. Yeah, I am going with this. Okay, pretty good. I have punties. I don't think Fatal takes an S. So at the moment, punties doesn't go. I was just wondering if Polled took an S in front, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I would have Supinate and Petunias through an A, but I've blocked both of those. So does... well, yes, Puniest is an anagram of punties, but I think that doesn't go either. Let me check fatals. Not good. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. So do I have anything through these double letter sets? LA looks pretty handy. I have the IEST ending and the up beginning. The U, probably the most non-bingo-y tile. Well, I feel there should be a bingo with LA because the rack just looks so immense. But I'm not seeing it. How about ET? I could have the E-double-T-E ending. Nothing there. How about DA? Also a useful looking 2-letter set. No. Okay, well, will opponent provide a spot for one of my 7-letter bingos? Just checking that there isn't a massive overlap which works. And there isn't, although there nearly is. If ETU was good, then Puniest would play. We're in the middle of a heat wave here in England at the moment. This is day 4, so hopefully the weather will break soon. Big tournament in Manuden tomorrow, which is about an hour's drive away, but should be good fun if a little warm. Opponent taking a while, but he has now played. And I don't think he's helped me get my bingo down. And why should he? Yeah, just doesn't go. Now, I didn't consider the L, but I'm not seeing anything there. Opponent hasn't provided any new floaters apart from the G in second place, which isn't useful. Only an O goes in front of DA, so I can't get my P doubled. Tripled, rather. Lat takes an I. Could there be a third anagram of puniest and punties? Don't think so. And of the two-letter sets, well, ET is restricted, DA remains available, but I'm not seeing anything there. But what if it began UN? Still not seeing anything. Okay, so how to sort the rack out? Do I have a play in column 6? Well, I have putt for 25, which doesn't give much away and leaves a good rack leave. Although, if I could play just UP, the rack leave would be even better. I'm just taking this back because what about a 10-letter play through L? Through lat, rather. So, could end plates. No, not seeing anything. So I was just wondering if I could play up somewhere. 14 points, that's not very good. I'm going back to putt for 25. Pretty good. I have Erasian, which does currently play in column 10. Do I have anything beginning with L? So this rack plus an L. Not seeing anything. Great, I do currently lead despite being frustrated on my previous 2 racks with bingos that wouldn't go. I do now have an O for going in front of DA, but Erasian does not have any anagrams. So at the moment, there's just the single spot in column 10 for my bingo. Is there anywhere else? I don't think putt takes an S in front. Pretty sure it doesn't. Great, column 10 remains available. Ket does take an S. But I don't have an anagram, and that suggests opponent may be keeping a powerhouse. Am I sure there's no bingo beginning with L? Not that I can see. Okay. So here we go. Erasian full 65. Wow, that is an insanely good set of 7 random tiles. I have a ton of bingos on my rack. Angries, earrings, erasing, gainers, grains, reagents, regains, reginas, searing, syringa. So surely one of those will play. Could I have a monstrous double-double overlapping every tile in Erasian? Probably not. Searing doesn't work. I'm not sure late takes an S. Later is good. Reagents, regains, reginas. No, none of those work, so I don't think I do. Do any of my bingos have an S in second place? I don't think so. Do I have a double-double through the N of Erasian? I have N grains. Wow, will that stay available? I currently lead by 30, but if I can get another bingo down, I could be starting to put a bit of distance between myself and opponent. So Engrains is the best I've seen, and that gives very little away. Just an A above this double letter square. What about a play in column 11, which isn't a double-double, but does overlap the top of Eurasian? So that would end... well, opponent's bingoed for 80 points, which is annoying. He's certainly blocked my Engrains play. Chimès takes a D and an S. I wonder, though, about a play in row M. Surely that will score more. So let me see what Regina's scores. 82 points. Am I going to score more than that? I don't think so. Wow, another good pickup. This is ridiculous. I hope this sort of good picking continues tomorrow at Manuden. Now, I must have a bingo here, but where are the lanes? And I only lead by 10 points. So no double-double lanes. There's the DNS spot for Chimès, so my blank would need to be a D or an S. I have Candor, which gets the C doubled. That's pretty nice. What about the blank as an S? Not seeing anything. Now Candor probably scores the most, but does create a triple-triple lane. Are there alternative lanes? So what about column 11? And late does take an N, but R only takes an E, so the blank would need to be an E, and I don't have a bingo there. What about column 5 with the blank as an S? Not seeing anything. So, do I play Candor? Or do I play through the E of Regina's? 10 more points for Candor. I'm going with it. Opponent is either going to get a massive bingo in row O, but even then that's not curtains. And if not, he's probably got, most of the time, he's simply going to take out row O for a measly score. High-scoring tiles can go next to the R, but the R is restricting which ones. I am going with this. Well, I don't have a bingo, I don't think. And B and V not great, so I will need to try and sort this rack out. I have Bravo on my rack. Does that play anywhere? This wretched R in Eurasian is really inhibiting plays in column 11 since it can only take an E. TI takes nothing in front. Great, this happens so often. Just 33 points, very average score, and opponent has taken out his own lane. So I do lead by 60 points. What can I do? I'd quite like to play in column 11. I could play Boer here. Well, only 22 points. That's not as much as I was expecting. Row L quite hot. So what about playing in column 4, taking out the E and the R? So I could play Brave, which isn't a terrible play. I'm keeping 2 O's, but there's only one to come. B not terribly useful for opponent. My O can go to the left of the B. I am taking out row L, which is quite a hot 4-letter lane. Okay, I like that play, but do I have something in that spot which has a better rack leave? Anything beginning with V, for example? Well, that would be more restrictive on opponent, which is another objective. The Ratley with NOO is pretty wretched. Still got the Z to come, and there's a massive Z spot under TI. Now, can I get my B doubled? Borane. 22 points. I think I prefer this NOO. I think I prefer VO. The V does have some scoring potential, and opponents played 1V, so I'm not going to have two of them. I am going with this. Well, not great, not bingo-y, but not terrible either. I do have vowels. I have an R and a D to go after late. So, do I have... Well, I have VOG in column 3, which is just going to kill the top left of the board. Opponent's gone there. No E for overdog. Not terribly much I can do with the floaters opponents provided. The T may be useful. Still one S to come. And still 23 tiles to come, which is a lot. So I'd quite like to turn over tiles. None of my current rack is particularly great. So I could play good for 24 points. There is some synergy. The N and the R help the V. Let me check the remaining vowels. 13 out of 30. So I could have 7 consonants, but there are floating vowels. A of Kanda, I of Thibet, A of Borane. £24 points, quite a good score. I am creating a hotspot in column 12 for a 4-letter play. Is there some alternative I have in column 11? Gord is not good, G-O-R-D. I am going with this. Well, I do draw a couple of vowels. So vor is a way of getting rid of V and W, but I haven't seen anywhere great for that. I guess through the A of Borane. Great, just 22 points. The real danger was opponent putting a big tile where the first E of Ida has gone. OE only takes an S, so I can't do much at the top. So I could turn over tiles by playing Narwhal and taking out lanes. 17 points. The opponent can't score massively in column 1, top or bottom, unless he gets a high-scoring tile on this double letter square, but then that's unlikely to be a bingo and will involve turning over 6 tiles. And I still have a 50-point lead, so I think Narwhal has merit. 7 vowels out of 22, but again, the board has got floating vowels. And turning over tiles increases my chances of drawing a Z. Look at this, still 3 I's to come. But how big a danger is this? UN only takes an I, so what ZI plays are there? ZIN. Okay. Well, I still like Narwhal. I'm going with it. And just 9 tiles in the bag. And I have an H for going next to the C. So I could play Elvish in column 14. That's not bad. The V would inhibit plays in column 15. But it's also not great. I have Elvish down here. 3 tiles left, and look at the remaining tile pool. I don't need to worry about opponent bingoing. And opponent has burnt all of these vowels, 4 vowels, to get a score of just 34 points, trails by 40. And I have Elvish down here for 50 points. And with a 40-point lead, I'll have a 90-point lead. Opponent could have Zin still. Okay, well, that will make life interesting. There's still 2 Ys to come, which are quasi-vowels. I think I can survive Zin. And I'm not seeing anywhere better for, or better than, Elvish. I'm going with this. Great, I draw the Z, so the Zin danger goes. I have Zex, which plays in column 5. I have Zax in row J. So, is this game won? Surely it is. Opponent definitely isn't bingoing. I'm not able to do anything fantastic with the Tiz spot. So 26 for opponent. He's not going out with BINWY. So I have Zax here for 35, and I then have Eam and MEE. So I'm certainly going out if I play Zax. Zax doesn't set up anything for opponent. Is Zax in this spot best? Just Azo is good, but I don't have any EIZ words. Yeah, I think this gets the job done. Zax. So where's the best spot for me to go out with EM? Eam at the top is only 5 points. I must be able to do better than that. So I have Yume for 10. 5 minutes on my clock. I'll just scan down the board. I have E and M. M and TE for 9. EY not good. Okay, well, I'm going quite fast, so I may be missing stuff. SE not good, otherwise I could have EM. I have time for 12. Yeah, I think that's the best I've seen. Is it the best? 4 minutes on my clock. I have M and E. Can I beat 12? Just having a second squiz down the board, in case there's something I've overlooked. No, I'm not seeing it. I am going with this. And the final score, 361 for my opponent, 455 for me, a winning margin of 94 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. So many good picks. And it was me to go first. And I thought about Lude for 16 and decided to change. I don't think there's going to be very much between those. My opponent plays Fatal. And now look at this, no bingo available, but Ploated was available as a double-double for 40, anagram of Tadpole. I played Poled for 13 fewer points, so Ploated would have been better. Great rack for opponent, but no bingo. He's got Fatigue, and it doesn't play. My rack, and there was a double-double non-bingo through Lat, Timplates. And interesting, I played Put for 25. I could have played the same tiles to create put off or off put, but I think for 3 more points, that put in this spot avoids providing any floaters for opponent. And he's sitting there with the blank. No bingo, plays cat, so let's just go back. Yeah, he was leaving a pretty good rack. Now, I've got a fantastic rack. I play Eurasians, but B8. Ignaro's G in second place. Wow. I still think I might be inclined to play Eurasian, given that opponent probably has a decent rack after playing 1 tile, and Ignaro's creates a triple-triple lane. Now, opponent's rack, a ton of bingos, including Chimesse. And I play Reginas for 82, Grains, an alternative in the same spot. Opponent with the Q plays Chi. And look at this for a pick, absolutely amazing. And I play Kanda, Cordron, Etanagram. And then you're dropping 10 points, which I don't think opening a triple-triple lane is worth 10 points. Now, opponent's rack plays Overdue, and I lead by 60. And I play Borain, not on the list here. I note Above is available. That would be a nice way of getting rid of B and V. Vor, L1. Yeah, possibly worth doing, decent score. So I play Borain for 22. It's not terrible. And it obstructs these floaters and doesn't provide anything massive for opponent. So opponent plays Thibet. C11, Vor and later. Oh yeah, perhaps I should have done that. That would have avoided creating a hotspot in column 12 and burnt the V. Now opponent plays with vowels, even though there's a vowel shortage. Plays Ida. And here I play Narwhal to turn over tiles. 8L. MAWN. Yeah, maybe worth doing. It's a lot more points, 10 more points, but it's not turning over tiles, and one of my aims was to get the Z, to take out the danger in row N and just generally expedite the end of the game. Plus I wanted to take out the floaters in Thibet. Now, opponent's rack plays Curie. So he did that from this rack. Wow, and he retained a vowel, so he pretty much had all of the remaining vowels. Now my rack, and I have Elvish for 50. That looks fine, and that secured the win. I don't think opponent's got any way back from this point, so he gets 26. I play Zax for 35. Maze, 8L. Down from MA. But then keeping MX. Probably worth doing. I have Max in row J. Do I have a second out for MX? Mox not good. Well, I don't. So maybe Zax would have been better, but both of those I think are winning moves. Opponent plays many, and finally time for 12 was best, but A13, ME, M and G available for the same score. So what a game, absolutely tremendous fun, over 450 points, lots of bingos, lots of great pickups, and just generally a good game where I was fortunate enough or good enough to be in the lead and holding on rather than having to come back from behind. So many thanks to my opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.